Okay, so EAP number 3, what we did today is this. It's the 17th of February and we have just finished. This is the condensed version. There we go. So we looked at homework, we did some revision, we set some more homework, and we talked about things like how to teach a writing lesson, types of writing tasks, books, critical thinking, and what corpus is, as well as a chat about the assignment. So we did this, which is revision from last week, and it's all pretty clear. If you did last week's, you should understand. And we had some homework, which is about Robert Marzano. So we talked about his 6 steps we need to do to remember vocabulary. Okay, and we talked about pros and cons with the Marzano. And then we talked about if I was to teach a writing lesson about processing. So that's when you have step 1, 2, 3. And I had written down somewhere first, secondly, thirdly, or after that, next, somewhere or other. Can't find it now, but I used that in the class. Here it is. So I got them to write or say what they do, like how to make a cake using these 4 phrases. And then after that, we made up a 150-word example of what you could say in an IELTS exam, academic IELTS. And we decided that brainstorming was the best way to go, working which verbs to use. And then did some practice on how food is digested, the process of that. And we worked out the best way to teach that is to have an interactive quiz like that where you can see how the food actually goes through. And then I asked them to give an example, which is this, on how we can digest food. And then I said for homework, you could try this one. So how chocolate is made, 150 words. And to teach this, well, you'd tell students that they need to keep to the point, don't add irrelevant information. You can't give your own opinion. Use fancy conjunctions like these ones. And no repetition, organise your paragraphs, check spelling, proofread, and check your word count. Now we talked about other writing tasks, there's quite a lot. So if we were to teach letters, for example, things we talk about, note-taking, things we talk about. So you can see that there's a bit of overlap between General English and EAP, how we teach essay writing, this sort of stuff. And what problems might come up if we're doing EAP classes. So these problems might come up. We need to workshop those problems. And for essay writing, we talked about thesis sentences. So I might put that up there for under essay writing. And then we talked about other topics you got to teach for writing, like inferring vocabulary. So not 100% explicit. And we talked about what we could do to help improve students' writing. And that was the end. Basically, the role of an EAP teacher is to encourage autonomous learning. So they want to learn themselves, for themselves. Then we talked about corpus, which is a library where you can go to pick up words in any particular domain that you want. They're called the Christie Corpus, and Melbourne University has one too, but you need to pay. And those corpuses, or corpora in plural, are free, but once you get to a certain number of searches, you've got to pay. And anyway, so we have this happening as well. And that was the end of our class, basically, after talking about the various textbooks. And then I gave the next lot of homework, which is just here. How to write an essay, as well as watch a video. And that was the end of our lesson for the 17th of February 2020.